You've been in that argument. The one where you had all the right answers and still walked away looking like an idiot. 3 hours later, lying in bed, boom, the perfect response hits you. Too late. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Losing arguments has almost nothing to do with how smart you are. It's about psychology. And today, I'm giving you 6 methods, ranked worst to best, that will make sure that never happens again. Method 1, the mirror move. Ranked last, but don't sleep on it. When someone challenges you, every instinct says fight back. Don't. Instead, you say, actually, you raise a good point on that part, but here's where something doesn't line up for me. Watch their brain break. They loaded up a full counterattack, and you agreed with them first. Now they're standing there holding a weapon they can't use. The psychology here is, when you acknowledge someone's point, you don't look weak, you look dangerously confident. And confidence is half the battle. Method 2, the invisible trap. This one comes from the oldest debate playbook on Earth, ancient Greece. The idea is simple. Don't tell people they're wrong. Ask them questions until they tell themselves they're wrong. They say something like, anyone who works hard enough will be successful. You respond, interesting, so you think effort is the only variable? What about access to resources or timing? You're not attacking, you're not arguing, you're just asking innocent little questions, but each one is a tiny landmine under their argument. And here's the genius part. When someone talks themselves into a contradiction, they actually feel it. It lands harder than anything you could have said directly. Method 3, word surgery. The exact same idea can start a war or start a conversation, depending on which words carry it. Never say, you're wrong. Say, I'm not following your logic on this one. Never say, that's ridiculous. Say, help me understand your reasoning here. Second trick, use what psychologists call social proof language. Words like most people agree or it's well known that wrap your point in invisible consensus armor. Suddenly, your opinion sounds like common sense. Third trick, ask setup questions. Would you agree that making good decisions matters? They say yes. Now they're nodding. And nodding people are agreeable people. Bonus, hold eye contact when you deliver your key point. It's nonverbal commitment. It says, I'm not guessing, I know this. Method 4, the data flood. Ranked 4th because it's powerful, but it can backfire if misused. When someone pushes back on you, you don't argue back, you bury them. Have you checked the adoption rate? What does the 3-year trend show? Did you factor in the external variables and the projected margin? Here's the psychological trick that makes this work. The human brain has a finite processing limit. If you hit it with more inputs than it can track, it doesn't pick the best ones, it just surrenders. They can't respond to 6 things at once, so they don't respond to anything. Dirty little secret is, you don't even need every fact to be bulletproof. You just need enough of them to feel overwhelming. Method 5, the rule of 3. And this one is pure brain science. 1 reason feels like a guess. 2 reasons feel like you ran out. 3 reasons feel complete, like you did your homework, thought it through, and you're ready. This won't work because it's financially risky, the timing is off, and we've already seen this fail in comparable cases. Done. 3 bullets. No one's asking follow-up questions. Compare that to just saying, I don't think this will work. Same opinion, completely different authority. The beautiful part is, people don't even notice you're doing it. Their brain just feels satisfied, convinced, ready to agree. Method 6, the conversation ender, the nuclear option. This is a single, well-timed line that doesn't just win the point, it ends the whole thing. That's a bold stance for someone experiencing this for the first time. Interesting theory. What's your track record with this? If the logic holds, why hasn't it worked for you yet? The secret ingredient? Timing. You wait. You let them overcommit. Let them say something that exposes a gap in their own logic. Then, calmly, with zero emotion, you deliver the line. Calm matters more than clever. The person who raises their voice first usually loses. The person who lowers theirs wins. Here's where the real pros operate. They don't pick one method, they chain them. Open with the mirror move, lower their guard.
Use word surgery, control the temperature. Deploy the rule of 3, signal that you're prepared. Set the invisible trap, let them unravel. Flood with data if they push back, and keep the conversation ender loaded and ready. But the most important skill? Reading the room. Each person responds differently. The best arguers are the most adaptable ones, not the loudest, not the most prepared, the most flexible. Now here's something nobody in this space wants to say. Every method I just gave you, they're not tools for finding truth, they're tools for winning. And those two things are not the same. The smartest people I've ever seen in debates, they're not trying to win, they're trying to figure out who's actually right. And sometimes that person is the other guy. So use these tools, but use them to get to better answers, not just louder ones. Which of these 6 methods did you not expect? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this hit different, you already know what to do.